Okay, and this is being recorded. Yes, this is the Masculine Geek episode number 109. Special guests, we have the men from the 10K Rum podcast. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. We were just remarking before the show that you guys had us on your show, Rob and I, to be interviewed, like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, as long as that. Yeah, it's true.
Was it really that long ago?
It really was. Yeah, it was not long after we started Masculine Geek.
It was before the COVID, before the coof. That's right.
It was before all this.
We had ridiculous.
TJ on too. TJ was on Masculine Geek, but he was not on that interview.
Yeah. But we had TJ on separately.
Oh, okay, that's right. That's right. Well, fuck him. I don't care about that. No, I caught that. That was a good episode. That was a very good episode. I want to jump right into it. The 10K Rum podcast. Where did that name come from? And more importantly, this dovetails together, but more importantly, how did you two meet?
Oh. Okay, well, I'll do the meet. Amos does the name, I suppose.
There you go.
Well, there's different parts of the story to us meeting, though.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Definitely.
Go ahead, Amos. I'll tell you about one part of it. Yes. I'm actually looking this up. 9 months ago was when you were on our show.
Yeah, right.
So anyway, sorry. Am I still breaking up?
No, you're good now. Keep going.
Okay. So Brooke and I, we met each other in ministry, but Brooke and I were in the same room, but never met each other back in 2012. No. Yeah, 2012. No, it's 11. It was 11. So
Dallas, Texas.
2011. I was working with a ministry that I literally just started with. And one of the first things we had to do was run a conference. So I was doing like the AV stuff. So I'm in the back of the room, I'm doing stuff. And the guy who was kind of running everything, like the head guy, the preacher, had a thing for Coke. He
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
I was about to say, you need to clarify there. You need to clarify.
He is a preacher, you know?
I wasn't going to judge, but I was going to.
So,
cheers to that.
So we're there, and this was well known among like a lot of people attending. So we're in the back, a couple of us, and someone comes up to us and says, "Hey, someone else is here. They wanted to hand this to him. Here's this like 6 or 12 pack? It was a 6-pack of Coca-Cola made with cane sugar.
Yes,
from Trinidad,
the Caribbean, from Trinidad and Tobago, my country."
And I'm like, "Oh, okay, this is cool. Like, we'll just hold on to this for him." We didn't drink it or anything. We eventually gave it to him. But that was from Brooke. We still haven't met yet. I didn't even know who he is, heard of him, anything. We were in that same sort of conference area. It just never met each other. And then 6 months later, after I had left that ministry and I came back to Minnesota, I connected up with some other people who were connected with Brooke. And then we talked and we were like, what? We were in the same room, but didn't actually meet each other. So it's kind of funny. But
so the second half of that story is after that conference, after Amos left that ministry, I connected with this gentleman out in Kansas, and we planned a trip out to Thailand. To do ministry stuff. No debauchery. The debauchery comes later.
Ministry stuff. Yeah,
outreach. And
you were ministering to the locals, weren't you?
Yeah. There's a lot of lady boys that need love out there, So we planned this whole trip, and it was kind of a free for all. We were just kind of like, anybody want to come? We had a guy from Brazil who joined us. We had a guy from Germany. Some people flew in from New Zealand, and it was just chaos. And Amos reached out to the guy who was kind of heading it up, and he's like, "Yeah, come along, man." And that was kind of the first time we all met up. We worked together in this team, and it was really like just a bunch of bros hanging out, right? Yeah, we'd do all the ministry stuff, the preaching stuff, but we were just having a great time with ourselves. We got on like a house on fire. Nice. And Amos and I stayed in touch. We had a lot of conversations. And as for the show, we started off kind of seeing a lot of the disconnect we saw in the church, a lot of the crazy cognitive dissidence and, scriptural nonsense and believing crazy theories. That was kind of the beginning of the SJW nonsense that we started to see coming into the political world.
Okay.
So it was Amos's idea to start the podcast. And originally we were the shitlord preachers.
Yeah.
Right. So, we were both shitlords. That was the time of Kekistan and, the memes and all that kind of stuff. And of course, the preacher side was the history of us being in the church, applying the same deconstruction we saw in religion to politics. And Amos, take it from there, man. Why are we no longer called the shitlord preachers, man? Besides the shit we get from
name.
YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube really loves that name. No, we were noticing like a lot. Just it was really tough to get on any podcasting platforms. And then of course seeing a lot of the coming changes with YouTube, like the adpocalypse and all this, how the algorithms are just cutting back anyone's views or exposure. Like if we had started with the name that we had, like this name, 10K Rum Podcast, and maybe a little bit earlier, probably would have been a different story. But that, with the changes that came through and the names the name we had didn't work so well. So we decided we were going to rebrand. And this happened kind of after a bigger change, another kind of a change in the podcast. We're kind of working in conjunction with some other people, but we decided to kind of go back to working on our own on this. And we decided, okay, well, it's got to be something that it points to something, but it's marketable. So Minnesota, where I am, is the land of 10,000 lakes, 10K. Brooke likes to drink rum.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
So I think we had like a couple of other like names we were throwing around, but then we figured that was the best. Pretty much went on Fiverr, had a guy recreate all the branding, and then here we are.
We took it from there. The rest is history, as they say.
Nice. I like it. So we already know what Brooke is drinking. He's got his rum and Coke there.
Oh yeah.
What about you, Amos? Oh yeah, Sailor Jerry's fantastic.
So we've got the Vincent.
Very appropriate, highly appropriate.
Stop sucking up, man.
This was how do you pronounce Plowman?
The Plowman.
Yeah, the Plowman from Gettysburg.
It's a cider company, and they also do wine. Yeah,
and they did wine, and this is a Vidal Blanc. Is that right? Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, it's pretty good. A little more dry than a typical white wine that I've had, but got that. So
cool. And you're drinking out of a regular water glass.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I like it. You gotta get some wine glasses up in your fortress there.
You got do you still have the one that you had?
Oh no, that was gone like that night. That was
you had the handwritten label and I had the printed label.
I had the handwritten label and mine was a red. I forget what blend, what varietal that was, but that was tasty too. I look forward to going back there and checking the rest of their stuff out. Yeah, it sucks though because of the restrictions. We could not do a tasting there. We had to basically, take the recommendations, trust the owner there, and go on his word and like, okay, we'll get this. So we wound up getting I got a exactly. It was all right. It's like, we'll see what happens. I got a 4-pack of cider and the wine. So, and
how old was that company again? Like 100 and something years.
It was pretty significant. Yeah, they had some lineage. They were pretty old.
Yeah.
Yep.
What is James drinking? What is James drinking?
Exactly.
Water and coffee at the moment.
Oh, teetotaler. All right.
Well, he didn't say what was in it.
At some point here, we'll do a short coffee break, and I will refill this, and it's about half. It's going to be rum.
Good man.
Fantastic. Absolutely.
Hand off to my own heart. I love it.
Absolutely.
Good stuff.
Listen, man, Captain Morgan is nice. It's cheap. It does what I need it to, and I can occasionally cook with it. So
you can. Kraken is good for that as well.
I was about to say
Kraken.
Kraken is
I always take whenever I go to the Necronomicon Literary Convention up in Providence, Rhode Island, I take Kraken rum with me. It seems appropriate.
Idea. Actually, I don't have rum with me right now. I have bourbon.
That's fine.
completely forgot. I'm so used to having Captain Morgan with me.
Yeah.
That will also
You have
go in
you have like
coffee.
a small bar underneath your desk there. Is that what you got going there? Just reach down
pulling
and
out
grab it.
bottles.
Information about.
Shh. Rob will edit this in post.
Hi, Rob.
Right?
Next to my acrylic paints, I've never mistaken the two as of yet, but this is
That
all
could be that could be an
This
interesting
is similar to the
combination.
color of rum,
Yeah.
depending on the lighting, but I've never mistaken it as of yet.
Nice.
I've resolved to never include astronaut food on my small bar underneath the desk.
Probably for the
For that
best.
reason, yeah, just in
Good-
case.
Good call. Good call.
Occupational hazard.
Indeed. So Amos, you came out recently for the Battlefield the Masculine Geek Battlefield Gathering out in Gettysburg. What did you think? Did you enjoy yourself?
Freaking sucked, man.
I know, right? It's horrible. It's horrible.
Oh, the humanity.
The humanity.
No,
Yep.
it was good. Got to meet up with Red and Mictobus. Meeting up with you again. Got to kind of learn. It was definitely a very different trip from Salt Lake City. More, I think Salt Lake was more like in terms of types of tourism. Salt Lake seemed to be kind of like the way I don't know, like it felt like just like another city, whereas Gettysburg kind of had more of like a historical sort of feel to it, and there was more like taking in where you are. Whereas Salt Lake was kind of like it's a place that you can really get around in, you know, go into the mountains, go hiking, going like a lot of that was more.
Yeah, the focus in Salt Lake City wasn't actually Salt Lake City, but like you said, the peripherals, everything around it. Whereas Gettysburg itself, the city itself, small town, small city, that was more the focus and the battlefields around it. Yeah,
literally everything there had like a plaque by it, like, you know, did you know about this building? Did you know about that building? Like even the place we stayed, some baseball players stayed there. I didn't even look at it, but it was like these were everywhere. It was like, here's a building where something happened. Here's where something happened. Did you know this general set like? It's like, you know, this general took a shit here. That general, you know.
He stubbed his foot on this rock here, and this
exactly.
kind of
Or in Amos's case, he slammed his nipple into a rock.
I did hear that story. I heard that story.
It was a good story.
And Mictobus came on just to remind us to tell the story when I got back.
Oh, okay, fantastic. Way to go, Mictobus. Always count on Mictobus to bring up the debauchery stories. Remind you of them. Cool. So what are you guys working on now for the 10K Rum? Is it just it's every week, right? It's pretty consistent. You do it every week. Now, I seem to recall Amos making an announcement there was a schedule change.
Yes.
Well, we do it on Tuesdays at 11 o'clock Central Time, so 12 noon for you guys.
Gotcha.
Which is 5 in the afternoon for Brooke.
5 p.m. GMT.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah.
That's just because I've got a work schedule that's constantly changing, so try to keep it consistent, and if we have to shift a few days here or there, we tend to do it, but just as long as we get it out there, because it's not so much people that'll view it when you're streaming, but even afterwards. So
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it is available on all major podcasting platforms, and that's really where the audience is. But I mean, just thankfully, I pretty much work from home at this point. I'm stuck in the lockdown, so it's kind of like, Amos, whenever you want to do it, it's fine, man. Just, you know,
you're in front of your equipment anyway. You're fine.
Yeah, just turn on the Roadcaster, and I'm good to go, man. Let's do it. So,
Nice.
yeah. And how long have we've been doing it for? 4 years.
4 years in July.
4 years in July.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
We started. I mean, it was technically called something else just before the Shitlord Preachers.
something unimaginative, like
It was super original. The Amos and Brooke Potter's live stream. There's 3 episodes that are just says the Amos and Brooke Potter live stream, and it's me in front of like a not even a like a camera like this, but a laptop camera, and it's just like it's like 480p if that. You know, I'm wearing like white like $10 headphones. It's just a white background. I'm
The
sitting
shit
in a
that came with
chair.
your phone headphones. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's blurry. The microphone is just picking up everything because I'm right against a wall, so it's just bouncing around.
Cool.
So
Oh, speaking of echo, if anybody hears any funny noise coming from my mic, my downstairs neighbor is watching pretty aggressive porn. So
Wait, what?
Yeah, so no offense to anybody if you hear moaning or other things.
we've talked about this. It doesn't pick it up.
It sounds. I'm
It's
hearing
worth
it in my
mentioning.
head.
Wait,
Just
is this
wait.
like? Is that
Otherwise,
is
might
that
be
a,
worried.
right? Is that something he does all the time?
He's 72, and
Oh, okay.
he's
He can't hear
divorced.
very
Hard of
well.
hearing, and
Yeah, he's hard of hearing. He's got nothing else to do in this lockdown, especially. So I assume this is part of his mental health routine. I'm not going to walk in and disturb him at this point and tell him to turn it down. So
So he's got porn in the background at all times.
yeah, usually like on 3 screens. So he's got like a portable DVD player, the laptop, and the TV going
Oh
at the
my
same
God.
time. So he doesn't want to miss anything.
All 3 angles. Hey, there you go.
Yeah, that's
like
the way
it.
to do it, man.
Okay.
VR.
That's right. Good to know. Okay, if we hear anything weird, it's not
Anything
James
weird.
or anyway.
Yeah, I don't have any girls tied up in here quite at the moment. So it's
Not
my
now, at
neighbor.
least.
Not now, not at this time.
Not yet. Yes. Nice. I like it. Cool. So you guys, all right. So every Tuesday, you get a little bit of a time difference, and there's a time difference now. I think it's almost midnight for you, or midnight.
Yeah, it's 11:15 here. So yeah, we'll go till about 1 or so. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I appreciate you coming on and spending your late night hours with us. Awesome. Very cool.
Any excuse to have some rum and coke, man. I mean, I am from
I
the
was about to
Caribbean.
say it doesn't matter. Fuck you guys. I get the drink.
I get to drink, man. This is great rum, by the way. So if I'm shit faced by the end of this, you know what happened.
Fantastic.
nothing wrong with
That's
it.
a
So
shout-out.
you're right on Greenwich time then. You're GMT
Yes.
0. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm in Wales all the time, so GMT. So if I'm back in Trinidad and Tobago, that would be Eastern Standard, or I think when the clocks go back for you guys, you might be 1 hour ahead. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I actually walked the Greenwich line, the Meridian line. It's right in London. It's right in Essex. I could walk across it east to west. It's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. There you go. I like it. A little bit of
Now,
history
for
there too.
Who haven't
Time
listened to your
starts there.
podcast? Because I actually haven't heard the 10K Rum podcast yet. Like, what's it about by and large? Do you guys have a central theme to it besides drinking, or
This.
which is fine as central themes go, as far as I'm concerned.
What's our theme, Amos? Just like everything
Man.
and anything?
You have us on. You haven't even seen the show, James.
Shame.
I mean, it's used to be pretty focused. Like we would try to pick apart, like kind of like in the beginning, it was a lot of like the SJW nonsense that was going on. We would focus on a lot on that, and maybe mix in some current event topics. But now it's pretty much talking about like anything from politics to culture and pop culture, stuff like that. So like today, and this is, not for everyone that's going to be viewing this later, we were talking about, I think we talked about the vaccines. We talked about how like the media isn't really like that lively anymore because there's no Trump. So how it's kind of boring. I think we talked about. See, I don't even remember what we talk. Like we literally just go week to week and we talk, and we don't remember what we talked about last week. We'll sometimes repeat some things and go, "Oh wait, that's right, yeah."
Gotcha.
I mean,
So you're incorporating current events.
Yeah,
pretty much. But we do pop culture as well. Like if there's a movie or a series that we both like, we'll discuss it. We did Picard when that came out. We had a lot to say about that. Amos is a big Star Trek fan. We did The Mandalorian, of course, season 2. With the big reveal, we discussed that, and how there was a disturbance in the Force, and you could hear all the Star Wars fans basically, creaming in their pants across the universe.
Oh shit!
There's a lot of it's like even the Dungeons and Dragons stuff. So I know Amos is very big into that, thanks to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I've just moved to Wales. I don't have anybody out here to play, and the book that I ordered never showed up. But
Jesus.
yeah, we do it all, man. We do it, and the SJW stuff, of course, has showed up in the Dungeons and Dragons as well. So that's given us hours of entertainment as well.
That, believe it or not, that phenomenon as it were, started as a slow trickle back in the mid to late 80s. Like about, why aren't there women in DV? Because they don't care. So there were many articles in Dragon Magazine about that, trying to shoehorn women into Dungeons and Dragons before they even really cared about it. So it has been ongoing, and it has snowballed over the past decade. So,
yeah. My first experience with like my first, and as do most campaigns in D&D, they don't finish. We basically, there was myself and like I think it was 3 guys and like 2 girls. And one of the sessions, basically, like my character is like lost somewhere, like kidnapped by a gang, and the 2 girl characters are at the tavern twerking. That was my
roll for that.
No.
They just power of your twerk.
No, it was just like well, basically they were like, yeah, we'll come save you tomorrow, like in the game's time, and I'm like, so you're like, what is this? Like, this is not the impression that I thought I would get. And that's kind of the beginning of where, like, this game was kind of different from what I thought it was. I thought it was just, high fantasy, magic, adventure, Someone even said it was kind of like, it's the modern day man's sort of replacement for, like, the adventure that's happening in the game. Like when men would go on actual adventures, go out and just explore things or do things, go on missions or quests or something. This is the replacement for that. This kind of gives a little bit of that like substitute. Yes, it's still important to go and do stuff, but this is kind of one of those things. And now you have this other element in there of the SJW stuff, trying to incorporate more sort of feminist ideas into this, which was primarily a male space. It's a guy's game. Like we're going out, we're doing this, and it's like, but we can't like it doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, fundamentally, women don't have that in their blood feeling of adventure as far as the hero's quest that guys have or want to do. I'm not saying it's not there, and then I know a girl that I'm sure you do, but it's the exception. And in my own experience, let's put it this way, I've had friends that are girls playing a game with guys. The dynamic change, for good or ill, the dynamic changes. It usually evolves to ill. And I don't mix the genders. I'll DM an all girl campaign. Absolutely. Fuck yeah. But a mix? No, I don't have time. I don't have time for bullshit. For twerking and stupid. No, I just don't care.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about that shit. So
I think one of ours, when we had my buddy's wife joined the game. I think we told her, like, Megan, you're one of the guys now. You're a dude. We're treating you.
You have to say that, yeah.
Right, and so we didn't pause any of our jokes or any of the things that we'd make fun of or anything like that. It was just like, you're one of the dudes now. And she adapted pretty well. She joined in on them. So
good.
That's good.
Did she play a female character?
It was healthy. Maintained that. No, I never played a female character.
Oh wow! Should have played that. That's even more than
If you can reach that amazing confluence that you just described, absolutely, and that's fine. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna keep anyone else from doing that. I'm not gonna try and legislate law. That it's definitely the exception. Yeah, I was in a campaign. I was as a player. And I was in a campaign where the one girl, she you could tell she didn't want to be there, but she wanted the attention and wanted to be part of something and give it a shot. But it was completely not serious. She named her orc Ass Lord, come on, right out of the gate being ridiculous. So you already knew what she was going to be about going forward. I'm like, you know what? I don't have time for this.
That's crazy.
So it's ridiculous. So no, and people are like, oh, well, you're sexist. Yeah, and what are you gonna do about it? Fucking care. I'm not trying to legislate law against women playing D&D. I just don't have them at my table. That's just the way it is. And that's, if you don't like that, you go pound sand.
Private property.
Exactly. Exactly. So, but let's get away from that. That's not the thrust of this. So, what was your your last podcast? What was the main topic you were describing? And you were talking about the last one, which was today?
A couple hours ago, yeah, probably. Enough time to get a nap in between, so that was definitely good. A lot of U.S. politics. There's not a lot going on in Europe, really. Not compared to you guys with your election and Biden and what he's doing with the home, like all of his appointments that seem to be pretty fucking crazy. We talked a lot about that. As Amos said, we touched on the vaccine and some of the concerns. We have a fundamental disagreement when it comes to how effective the lockdowns are and the effectiveness of the masks. So that's always fun to see in the show. A little friction, we go back and forth a little bit on that.
That is good,
but we completely agree on we need our freedoms back, both in the UK and in America. We were contrasting the situation in Florida and I think South Dakota never shut down versus like some of the more draconian places. So we had a great discussion on all of that. I don't think we really touched on. I mean, we also discussed the New York Times article that came out speaking about how you shouldn't go down the rabbit hole.
Well, it was the main quote was critical thinking.
Yes.
Okay.
So you shouldn't pursue critical thinking.
Just believe what we say. You don't need to dig any further.
Was it that the one that talked about Stormfront?
Yes, like if you happen to go to the web, the white supremacist website Stormfront, because that just happens. You're browsing the BBC and suddenly you end up on Stormfront. It happens every day.
The internet's that unpredictable.
They're saying like you might
hyperlink it in this area. If you happen to visit Stormfront, which you can find.
The New York Times, come on, man. But they made this statement, which was so ridiculous. It's like, the people at Stormfront are so much better at propaganda than you that you should not even look at this stuff. Basically calling everybody an idiot, right? You are not as smart as us. Stay in your lane. Listen to us tell you what's really going on in the world. So it's real Ministry of Truth type nonsense. An Orwellian nightmare. That was fantastic topic. I don't know how you guys are making it out in the US, but it's not looking good from an outsider's perspective. It's kind of scary, to be frank.
It's really we've wandered in. I've mentioned this before. We've wandered into a Rod Serling Twilight Zone episode. We can't get out.
You're not wrong.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and to consider a lot of these crazies have power now, and
that's it.
Unchecked power in a lot of ways. And it seems like the Supreme Court is not really doing anything to push back on some of these things. So they're probably going to get packed. It's very concerning. It's very concerning. I'm not an American. I'm in the UK. So even from the outside looking in, we're looking at it as like this is very serious.
Yeah. Yeah. The next couple of years is going to be interesting, to say the least.
It's more of the status. I think that's what we talked about too, is the status quo.
Yeah.
So like everyone, like with when, even when people are kind of looking at people I've talked to, they'll look at both sides. They're like, well, I didn't like Trump, but I didn't really like Biden either. And they're like, but if you really look at it, Trump got more people talking about stuff. People were like engaged. They were looking into everything that he was doing. And it was, someone even called it like a stress test for us. Like we got to really see like, this is how the government works because all these things are being challenged. Biden comes along. Everything's just a status quo. Everything's just don't worry about it. There's more wars. There's going to be more just nonsense happening in this administration. But hey, guys, what about Joe Biden's cat?
What is that a thing?
Yeah, there's a whole
Yeah.
puff piece on his pets and how insightful they seem to be and all this other nonsense.
Insightful. They're fucking animals. What the?
Oh,
Really?
I mean, this
Oh
is
my
the
God.
nonsense you're gonna get from
Oh
him.
my
It's
God.
like someone I know actually wrote, like, someone was there was like a New York Times, one of these articles, and it said, what is there to be done about, like, Joe Biden's cat has like an ingrown nail or something. And then this person replied to the tweet, there's literally genocides going on in other countries that you guys are totally okay with.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh wait, what? Like, that's the thing, is we're basically, the media is not going to be trying to catch anything. Like, they're gonna be like, oh, here's a Valentine's Day thing, or here's oh, Biden's he's just such a cool guy. Like, well, how could you not like him? Like, oh, everything's totally fine. Don't worry about anything he's doing. Don't worry about what he's trying to pass.
Exactly. Just worry about his cat's.
Don't worry about these drug prices going up because he wanted
ingrown
to say,
toenails and fucking stupid bullshit. That's ridiculous. I had not heard about that. That's ridiculous.
That's for the better. If you don't hear about it, might actually seem more normal out there.
No, it's true. We were just talking about that before the show about social media and Twitter. I removed Twitter off my phone, and I'm so much better for it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
If we did not have the podcast, I would so join you, Vince, on that, because it doesn't,
I know exactly. Yeah,
nothing good comes from Twitter or social media in general.
No, I will say it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a tool, and how you choose to use it is up to you, and how you choose to react to it is up to you. Twitter's been good to me as far as meeting everybody here.
Sure.
As far as the Masculine Geek coming together, that's how I met Rob and TJ, my older account that I had at the time at TJ, and Aaron for that matter.
Nice.
But as far as the rest of the insanity, the things that you really find, you really have to parse out what matters to you, and that takes some effort.
Correct.
But having said that, get this off my phone. I'll at the end of the day, I'll come home, I'll check Twitter a little bit. Oh, okay, there we go. Maybe do some small minor maintenance, and then I'm done, and that's it.
Yeah.
So, do you guys still have Twitter? You probably don't have Twitter on your phone, do you, Brooke?
No, I do. But I only repost other things, and really just to share the podcast. So we stream the podcast also to Twitter.
Okay.
When that's up, I'll retweet it. I admit I'm on Gab. I don't know if you've been on Gab.
I created a Gab a long time ago, and I don't even remember my credentials. I couldn't even tell you.
I'm having a very good time on Gab because it's all the rejects from the social media. So you're seeing very raw commentary, to say the least. Right?
Yeah.
Which is kind of refreshing. It's not this bubble wrapped world that we're living in, kind of thing. So I'm kind of enjoying the chaos of Gab for the moment. But yeah, I mean, the podcast has me in all sorts of pies that I don't really want to be part of. So
well, that's what I was going to ask is if you didn't have the podcast, not necessarily would you be on Twitter, but would you be looking at the same things on Twitter? Would you be like those outrage bait articles?
No. If we didn't have the podcast and I had to kind of keep abreast of like some events to talk about, my Facebook following would probably be under 100. I would just have direct friends and family that I know. Right now, I'm reapproaching 1,000. I once had 5,000 people following me. I culled that to 400, and I'm creeping back up to 1,000 for some reason. I probably wouldn't be on Twitter at all. I never used Twitter. I had Twitter for years, and I only used it to kind of repost articles and repost videos I might do on YouTube or anything like that. Only more recently have I started retweeting and actually tried to get like a bit of a following for the same reasons, promotion. So without the podcast, no, man, I would scale all of that back. I'd watch some financial stuff because I deal in financial markets as well. So a couple people I would follow, but I'd probably be on a private account and I wouldn't really interact with many people.
Good deal. How about you, Amos? The same?
Yeah. Well, not in the financial markets. Yeah, I'm on Twitter. I don't use Twitter really that much, except honestly just communicating with like you guys and maybe following a handful of things. I'll hear about it or see it on Facebook. People will post about stuff they see on Twitter.
Yeah.
And so really it's just Facebook is just for communicating in general. It's not really much for posting. Twitter is kind of for the information side, like see what's trending, what is everyone talking about. And then actual like anything outside of that is pretty much non-existent. Like I think we talked about like Gab. Like I found out, I remembered I had a Gab and I logged on and I was like, oh, well, nothing happened. Like nothing really going on there. And then I went to, and then Parler came back. I went back on there. Nothing really happened in there either. So social media is just not really much of a need. Like I pretty much just do what I'm doing. I might check in on things to see simply just for the podcast. Now I probably would still be pretty engaged because like I know with like the connections we've made and stuff, I've definitely want to be more like informed on things. Definitely want to look into certain things, but it's still, there would be a decrease in how much I use it if it wasn't for the podcast. So
gotcha. Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm sure James has a similar experience.
Not quite. I personally, I'm extremely online. I'm one of those extremely online guys. Absolutely. I love social media. I love Discord. I was gonna ask you.
How do I kick you off? How do I get you out?
Stone the unbeliever.
You gotta seek out the cogwheel, and that is your portal to everything. No, I really enjoy social media. I've curated my experience so that I talk about the things I want to talk about, and I ignore so much outrage bait where people find something posted by the New York Times and they yell about it. And not like a substantial thing. Like you guys mentioned some substantial things that like there's nuance to them and we could tackle them. And then there's things which are like the cat article. Or here's why this doctor who is unnamed recommends wearing your mask while having sex with your partner. And now I have to see this repeated all my. I don't care about that. I think it's silly. I think this was produced so that people would scream at it about it on Twitter for the next few days. And I just have no interest in that. I want to talk about game design from the 70s and the 80s. I want to talk about what's going on in game design today. I want to talk about like what's going on. I love the rationalists and the post-rationalists on Twitter. They're so much fun. They're just having fun on Twitter and enjoying themselves. You know, and that's my tribe. That's my people. Those are the people. I invite those people to my Discord server. I invite those people to, I follow them on Twitter and stuff like that. And that's my experience. But it's very curated. And it was work to produce that. Mm-hmm. So I understand why some people don't enjoy social media, because I don't think that social media, as unfiltered, is fun.
Or healthy for that reason,
No, it's easy. It's easy to get caught up in exactly what you're talking about, the outrage, the clickbait. So,
absolutely. I've recently gotten into Reddit since the whole Wall Street bets fiasco.
I've never been on Reddit. What? So explain this to me.
Well, right. There's subcategories in Reddit, and it's basically a news feed of different articles, pictures, videos, music, live streams, but it's all subcategories and stuff like that. So I joined a couple of them for finance, for trading, foreign exchange, crypto, other things. And when the Wall Street bets phenomenon with GameStop took place, which we also discussed in an episode, I jumped into this group, Wall Street Bets, where it's a bunch of retards. Like, can I say can we say retards? I don't know.
We can say retards.
Okay, yeah, it's a
bunch
of like,
retard. There you go.
Yeah, it's a bunch of like investing retards who really don't know what they're doing, and they show lost porn all day. Like, I've lost $7,000. I've lost this. We're all a bunch of apes. We're all a bunch of idiots. Yeah. But some of it is really funny. Especially the dank memes and stuff like that. If you want to get some of the latest memes, which is great for promotion. Like, I think my Facebook, if I wasn't posting the podcast, I'm just posting memes to get circulation and to kind of beat the algorithm. There are original memes on Reddit that I could just pull off and post and get a little reaction. So that's been kind of fun. I could see I could build something there in a couple of, at some point. So
has its own. Each one tends to have its own little subcultures, and I don't go on it that much, but I have like, I'm on like the Titanfall subreddit, and I'm on the and stuff like that, and so you see these like you said, memes, these cultural. I know what you and I are talking about. These cultural connections expressed in like a picture, and you'll see it get repeated in the different iterations of the same
inside jokes and whatnot.
I don't know why I couldn't think of the words inside jokes.
Inside jokes. Yeah. You're welcome.
I don't know why that wasn't coming.
Teamwork.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is that's sort of what these people are engaged in, is like cultural teamwork. Everybody's moving towards. They don't know what the destination is. Nobody knows what the destination.
You're enjoying the journey. You're enjoying the journey. Yeah. No, that's fine. I get that. And I have you saying in that regard and puts in my mind. Yeah. What I went back to saying was it's what you get out of it.
Yes.
So yeah.
Reddit is definitely interesting. Like. I think someone was saying like now we've kind of passed the age of like information. Like we have so much information as it is that we're kind of moving into a new era, which is curation.
Good point.
So we have all this information now. Now we got to be able, like, we're realizing we can't take it all in. So what's becoming more popular now is curation of content, communities, cultures that are developing on the internet. Now that could go in a lot of different ways, but it's mainly just, it's funny. I was just thinking about this. Reddit, Reddit is so diverse in terms of subreddits and communities. There's probably hundreds of subreddits developed to just boobs.
Really?
I can confirm.
And OnlyFans,
that's not a joke. By
OnlyFans,
yeah. I'm laughing, but I believe
it. Not even about models or porn stars, just boobs, like types of boobs.
Well, that's bigger than you thought.
It was bigger when I couldn't see it.
It's called Bigger Than You Thought. It's about the reveal.
It's just chicks who have like deceivingly smaller than you think.
You go on there and you go, those are bigger than I thought, and they look good. And that's your experience on there. It's lovely.
Okay.
I highly recommend this to anybody who's
links in the description below, guys.
Yeah, I will take your word for it. I'll look at the real things. Thank you. You guys can have your Bigger Than I Thought online.
It's funny, like, because you start going through and it's like,
I wasn't thinking funny. I was just thinking about how much I enjoyed it. But
I'm saying funny in terms of the diversity of it. It's like, bigger than you thought, or whatever. It's just, it's more.
There are multiple subreddits dedicated with the same name. That's funny. That
yeah.
You'll see multiple threads dedicated to the same niche.
Yeah, there's boobs with 2 S's, boobs with 1 S, with Z's. It's just like, what are you doing? And these all have like hundreds of thousands, millions of people in the community, and it's just
it's showing you what's really important in life.
I see Amos has been doing his research.
He's like, not that I would know this, but I heard there's more.
I can see the reflection in his glasses right now. He's looking at that subreddit. I can tell. I can see
we're gonna freeze that and then zoom in on Amos's glasses. Yeah,
he was in the dark not
that
long
strong
ago.
Downward motion from pixels 38 by 40.
James,
but there's even for like other communities, like there's larger communities or smaller ones that are more like subgroups within that. There's got to be at least a couple dozen D&D subreddits for different reasons. There's
that I've heard rumbles of, but I said I've never really indulged.
Yeah, should I? It's the same with Discord, except it's a little bit more open.
I've never been on a Discord server.
Discord servers are so much fun. I have one for Azure Creativity. It's
okay. Maybe I'll drop by.
Send the link because we have a Discord server for the 10K Rum podcast.
And guess who's in there? No, there are 2 people in there.
Yeah, I wonder who.
You two?
Yeah, just us. And the bot. I think we got like a chat bot in case anybody does show up.
Yeah.
But I've been in a couple of the Discord servers. Like when the election was going on, the US election, I was in a couple of those watching live updates. I'm in Sargon of Akkad. I'm in a couple of the European politic groups and stuff. Great place for memes. Great place, to promote stuff. So Yeah, and for gaming, I always know when Amos is wasting time because we're friends, and it shows me he's playing, you know, whatever,
Well,
you know.
That's how I was.
Or
Exactly. That's how I know of Discord servers for the gaming community.
the gaming community.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's perfect for that. It was the replacement for Skype, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it was like, it's free. The quality actually works. People usually don't lose their connections all that often. And I pay for the premium features because I own a server and stuff like that.
Gotcha. Can
have
you
have you guys used that for like your social networking and things of that sort, or is that just kind of like
what premium services? No, we're cheap. We're
oh no. I meant for like the 10K Rum podcast. Is that something where like you try to drag people in there, or?
So we do it basically like for as little as $1 a month. They can come onto the Discord, and I've posted the link there. We do have people in our like who pledge to the show for $1 a month. They just don't click on it.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So I'm just like, all right, you know, it's fine.
But that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. But then in terms of like other things, like I have a few Discord servers that I'm on, quite a few. Some of them it's just for places where I go meet up with people on a regular basis to chat. Like there's a group that I talk to a lot, and it's like we'll game together, we'll chat together. There's a group of people in there that I run my D&D campaign with. But
so you can stream with it.
You can, not like directly anywhere. Like you could stream to each other. So it's like one of the friends could be chatting with us, but he's gaming. So we'll just watch what he's doing and talk to him.
Gotcha.
But some people will also do that as well as streaming to some sort of platform. So like you see some like famous streamers will stream themselves playing, and they're chatting with their friends in Discord who they're also playing with.
Gotcha. Yeah, who are watching at the same time.
Right, right.
Yeah. No, obviously everything is hosted. Right.
So you create it. You can create a server anytime you want, and you can just set up permissions. You can introduce like bots and stuff to help you run things. You can create different privileges. So you might have like 1,000 people on one, but then you can set it up like, oh, okay, well, these people are my close friends. They can see everything. These people I kind of know here. They can only see these things.
We're going to set them to these specific channels.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. These people can only see that. These people can see that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Gotcha. Cool. Check it out. I'll have to hop on both of your the 10K and the Ash of Creativity Discord servers.
Links below, guys. Links below. Are you guys still in lockdown together, where both of you are? What's the situation where you're at?
It's not a lockdown so much as it is slight restrictions as far as how many people can gather in restaurants and public places, and whether or not you can wear a mask. So you're not going to get beaten and thrown in jail if you have a mask. If you don't have a mask while you're driving or walking around, obviously, and I wouldn't do that anyway. But
likewise, in
restaurants, when you walk in, it's the dumbest shit. You walk into the hostess station, table for whatever. Okay, they see you take your mask off. What? So yeah, so you have that. And a couple weeks ago, the governor increase the amount of
restaurant capacity
and public place capacity. So it's increased. I think that it was either 25 or 35% since we've been open, and now it's up to 50%, I do believe.
Yeah. So a lot of people are still treating it like it's the heart of the pandemic, which is completely fair, because after the first few months of checking daily to see what it is that you're allowed to do or not allowed to do, and checking the updates because everything's getting pushed back, and COVID positive patients are being sent to nursing homes and stuff like that, and seeing imagine that our numbers are going up again.
I wonder why.
People got tired of looking at, like, I didn't even know. I was talking with Vince the other day because we were going to get ready to head out to the Piccololi, and I had no idea that restaurant capacity was increased.
Right.
Yeah. I found out randomly.
I was surprised to see indoor seating was allowed at that point, because I didn't know when that transition happened.
We had indoor seating starting in September.
Okay.
End of August, early September. Yeah, and that's when the gyms opened up as well.
So you'll never really went back into like a serious all. Okay.
No, not New Jersey. No.
Oh, not Wales, as the case might be, because we came out of it, then we went right back in just
back into it
before Christmas. Yeah, so
no,
I've been in Wales now for almost 8 months, I think. Yeah, and I think 5 of those have been in a lockdown. So
oh shit,
very and the gym. That's the one thing I was really looking forward to.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, you had to book it was so clean. It was you book a session. They had the sanitizer right there. You clean the machine before, you clean it after. If you move around, you got to wear a mask, but if you're exercising, you're okay. You could have eaten off the floor. It was so clean, and they still really? Shut it down. Yeah, it's like, no, we're not doing it. So,
oh no, the gyms are open up here. You have to wear a mask, and it's another thing too. Is like you're working out, your mask will slip down. You want to be able to breathe while you're working out. So you have it down. You have it down. You're covering your mouth, and your nose is poking out a little bit. And then you see one of the 18-year-old fucking gym attendant come up to you. He's finished emptying the trash, and he's, oh, sir, can you please pull your mask up over your nose? Excuse me, motherfucker. How old are you?
Get the fuck out of my face.
Exactly. I always think of that scene from Fellowship of the Ring where Gandalf or Two Towers, where Gandalf is talking to Grima Wormtongue. He says something effective. I haven't passed through fire and death to bandy crooked words with a witless worm. Like, get the fuck out of here, asshole! No, I'm not going to pull my
teeth.
Exactly. I'm not pulling my mask up over my nose so I can pass out.
Exactly.
Stupid.
That is the dumbest thing.
You got to get the full face respirator thing. It's perfectly safe, but you can breathe really well too.
Apparently. Stupid. So, yeah, I'm not doing that. So
I don't blame.
But yeah, the gyms are at about. There was only one day that I had gone. In fact, it was the Tuesday where there was a line outside, and they were doing the clicker where they had so many people inside, and when people would leave, they'd have more people come in, and stay back, hold on, yeah. So it was a busy day, and that was probably the first or second Tuesday in January. Obviously, people with their New Year's resolutions. Exactly. Which I figured, I'll give it a month, if that, and that'll
give it a couple of weeks and go.
Yeah, that'll change. It'll be fine. And I go late. Like after this broadcast, I'll head out around 8:00. They close at 9. I'll head over around 8:00, and I'm fine.
Oh, you're a late gym goer. You're not an early gym goer.
No, I can't. The only reason why there's a morning is to keep afternoon and evening from bumping into each other. That's it. Mornings. I don't. Now, having said that, when I am on a writing retreat, or I'm down the Jersey Shore, when I'm by the ocean, or I'm in the mountains, I love getting up with the sun. It's a whole different vibe.
Sure.
But just on a regular basis, now, are you the same way? Do you like mornings, or you hate mornings?
I would get up for the gym. Like I have a thing. Gotcha. When I was in Essex, I lived in Essex before, so I was in the UK. The gym used to open at 5 a.m. and I liked getting there at 5 a.m. Okay. But I'd go back home and sleep when I got back by 6 o'clock. By 6 or 7, I'd be back home.
You pass back out.
Yeah, because I was trading the US markets, and for us it doesn't start until 2 o'clock in the afternoon, right? So I'd knock the gym out in the morning, go back home, sleep for 2 hours, and then make breakfast and start the day at 12. So not a bad life. Not a bad life.
No, that's pretty cool. I like it. No. How about you, Amos? What's the lockdown situation where you are?
Snow. No.
That is like a Russian winter, is it?
I mean, I came back after the Gettysburg trip, and like 1 week after that, we had our deep freeze.
Oh,
it
shit.
Was 20 below zero.
Oh yeah, you posted a screenshot of the weather report in the Telegram.
20 below zero, with a wind chill of like 30 or 40 below zero.
Oh damn!
And now it's 40 outside. I went out in shorts and sandals.
No sandals. You didn't wear black socks, did you?
No.
Okay, good.
Did you warm up the grill? Are you doing some barbecuing out there?
Oh, So some of you know what I do, and so what part of my job I saw people when it's like 10 below zero, and they were grilling.
Oh shit!
Guys in full gear, but he's like right next to, like he's right outside his sliding door, and he's just still grilling.
That's funny.
And it just goes right into the house. It's never cold.
Hey, it works.
Minnesotans, no, like Minnesotans will be. You'll see pictures of Minnesotans, shorts, t-shirt, and it'll be snow all around them, and they're grilling. You know, they got a can of beer.
What was that grumpy old that movie, Grumpy Old Men? With the
it's literally that.
That's hysterical.
But no, like our lockdowns are pretty much like it's kind of like you guys, like restrictions on well, I mean, outdoor dining is out of the question. Like, no one's doing that. So they have indoor dining, but it's certain capacities. You have to wear a mask at the gym. Not much else, really.
Do you have to wear a mask when you're having sex?
That they never recommended.
He has to wear a mask when he's jerking off. It's that bad.
Only one?
2. Apparently now you have to wear 2 when you're masturbating.
Exactly.
Just ask Aaron Clary.
Would know.
That's an apps extraordinaire.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, did not have to wear a mask.
That's good.
When doing any of those things.
And you would know.
They finally know.
Expertise.
Oh shit, that's
good on
funny.
you, man. Good on you.
Fantastic.
But yeah, there's not really much beyond that. I mean,
okay.
Yeah.
So it's there, but it's not draconian.
Yeah. They keep saying we're supposed to be back to normal by summer, but But then
we're already at the year mark.
As James called him, a certain unnamed doctor could just show up and say, "Could be till 2022." I don't know. And
then go back into his hole. It's like some weird Punxsutawney Phil COVID doctor that comes out to let you know whether or not you can, take your fucking mask off. Oh, it's going to be 6 more weeks of fucking COVID.
He comes out and he sees the false positive. Yeah,
you're fucked. Somebody's got to shoot that fucking piece of shit.
I am worried that it's not going to go back to normal in the sense of like people aren't just going to like start going out.
Well, they're going out, but we were talking about this before the broadcast started as far as like the Italy trip, which we're still doing, but everything is real cheap now as far as travel, air travel and Airbnb and hotels, because despite the fact that things are slowly coming out of a lockdown and the restrictions are less, people are still unreasonably scared.
Yes.
To travel. So, I mean, that's fine for me because I'm still fucking traveling. That's just the way it is. And people are, aren't you scared of COVID? Like, I ride a motorcycle and I'm more likely to get T-boned by a random old lady than I am to die of COVID. So, no, I'm not scared of this at all. So, no.
Exactly.
Yeah. See, you dirty whore. So.
I mean, the people out here, like we were discussing before the show in Wales, I thought I was coming out to like Celtic country, these like the Celtic warriors, they held back the English and all this kind of stuff. And no, man, everybody here is a sheep. Like everybody's petrified. If you're not wearing a mask, you're killing grandma, and they berate you if you're out in public. And I very much share your attitude, Vince. It's kind of like I was never into this thing in the first place. I'm over it. I'm pretty sure I've had it, to be very honest.
I think we've all had it. Yeah.
Yeah. Just I got really sick early on in, I think, late December of year before. My flatmate who I was living with, he was going to the Chinese embassy quite regularly, so he probably picked it up there. He works in a school.
Help spread it. Yeah.
Yeah. He works in a school. So I mean, there was no way that I was escaping this thing. And I know for a fact that the shop that was below us, which was like a tourist information, they confirmed that they had the cases. So they couldn't have had it if we probably gave it to them, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So But I'm done with it. When there's this new variant that's come out in the UK.
I heard, yeah, there's one over here in California now too.
There's one in California. There's the South Africa.
California.
Yeah, there's a South African variant. You know, coronaviruses mutate. Oh wow, shocking news! Like we didn't know this happens every year.
Same with different strains of the flu. It's mutated.
Every
If you
year.
if you read the symptoms of pneumonia and you read the symptoms with the exception of the smell and taste thing,
Sure.
and if you read the symptoms of COVID, it's the same fucking thing.
It is the same thing.
Yep.
And as I keep telling people, I said, look, the virus wants to survive, and it can't do so if it's going to kill the host. So it's more than likely just going to become the common flu. That's kind of what we've seen as a trend. Swine flu did it. Bird flu did it. It just kind of, went the way
Influenza
of
did
everything.
it.
Well, influenza started the party. So
Yeah, pretty much.
So my attitude
they
is,
kicked everything off 100 years ago.
yeah. My attitude is like, look, if there's a new strain, let me just get it and get it over with. I'm
Seriously.
low risk. I'm in good health. I don't have any underlying conditions. All of my friends are packed up in their houses. They don't want to go anywhere. I'm like, yeah, give it to me. I'll take it. Just
Seriously.
to get I'm done. I'm
Get
so
it,
over
get it over with, and say, look,
Get it over with.
See, I'm fine. My insides haven't turned into liquid shit. I'm fine.
Exactly. I mean, Amos should be immune. He's like been knocked up.
Exactly.
What?
Oh, you're pregnant. You're pregnant, Amos. What's going on?
Yes,
there?
I'm pregnant, and
Jesus.
I'm on the vaccine trial too. So there's that.
Really?
I think I told you guys that.
I don't remember.
I remember that.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was. I'm in one of the vaccine trials, not for the ones that are already out. So people were asking about that. There's different companies doing vaccines,
Oh, we may have talked about that in the Zoom.
and so there's different companies doing it. So and what they do is they're each trying to get emergency FDA approval. So Moderna and Pfizer did, and then there's other companies that are still pursuing it, and I'm with one of them. And the study is supposed to take 2 years.
Oh shit!
But they're trying to get like approval and stuff before then. So in the meantime,
Trying
right
to
now,
fast track it,
and all I do now is I got 2 shots, just like they're doing with a lot of them. It's like one, and then like another within a month. That's how the vaccine thing works. And then you just go in for blood draws, and they pay you for each time you go. You can stop anytime you want. And I figured it was a low risk thing because I got it. I felt like my body was responding to it for like 2 or 3 hours after I got the shot, and that was it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't feel any weird. Nothing grew out.
You didn't grow a third eye or anything like that. Okay.
Nothing popped
So
out.
that kind of would have been cool though, but yeah. All right.
That was
So-
the sucky part is they came out with a vaccine for this pretty quickly. It was just going through the FDA process.
Yeah, lightning fast, and you're like, you have to wonder at that. I mean, just on a common sense level.
No, I mean like not the one that like is approved right now. Like they had this back like last March or something like that. They, like, look, this is not a complicated virus. I would have taken it. Why not? Fucking low risk, like you said, low risk. Got a bunch of like Silicon Valley people just taking experimental drugs and say like, well, fuck it. We'll see if it works. And if it does, and if that turned out to work, don't have a year lockdown. That's a pretty good, like that's a pretty good calculation in my mind. I might get a little fucked over it from it, but let's see what happens.
You would hope that's the case, but I was telling Amos this in the show. Out here in the UK, we actually have the most vaccinations of any developed country. So I think it like 1 in 5 people, at least in England, not Scotland and Wales and Northern Ireland, but in England, that's definitely been the case. And they're still talking about lockdowns, even though we have vaccinated the most vulnerable of our population. I think almost 80% or 90% of everybody over 70 has got the shot in England. And we're not scheduled to get out of this nonsense until June or possibly later. So even with the vaccine,
and you still have to wear the goddamn mask.
and you can, you got to wear the mask. You still got to social distance.
Apparently.
Or throw some pantyhose on, and it helps.
I heard of it. Like, you got to be shitting me.
That's a real thing.
Unbelievable.
That's a real thing.
Yeah, that's not happening.
But glory holes, though, they're making a comeback.
Apparently, that's a revived industry. Yes.
There we go.
Unbelievable. Jesus Christ.
I mean, a friend of mine did run out
To a glory hole?
Yeah, well, to a glory blanket, I suppose.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, him and the girl, she was terrified. He was horny. They cut a hole in the blanket and, did what they had to do. So it's
I know a couple that actually did it with masks
Jesus
on.
Christ.
Sorry, what was that, Amos? I didn't hear you.
I know a couple that actually did it with a mask on.
They did it with a mask on?
Yep. Each of them
That
had a mask on, but yeah.
That is so Rick. That's so crazy.
They basically kind of lean back with masks on, like
trying not to breathe on each other.
Something like that.
Part of the fun.
It's all about positioning, isn't it?
Yeah, apparently, yeah. Well, you just got to do that to reverse cowgirl. You're fine.
There we go.
So you point that way, and we're good. Wear your mask, and you play the Lone Ranger and Tonto.
Yes.
Right. Guys did it with girls with paper bags over there. They were ahead of their time.
Yeah, all you have to do is just throw a flag over and do her for the country.
Take one for the team. Yeah,
exactly. That's it. Shit. All right. All right. Now, here's the main question, and it's not for you guys. It's for James.
Get in there, James.
James, did you refill your coffee and add the bourbon?
No. This
What
was
the
not the
fuck?
I didn't know it was amateur night at the Apollo. Like, what's going on, man?
I mentioned
Apparently,
doing a coffee break at some point. It didn't happen.
Well, we're like almost done.
Yeah. Yes, man. That's why I didn't refill the coffee.
Jesus.
Oh my
Christ.
good. But Vince, very quickly, did you offer our boy Amos here unique and special wisdom in him handling some of his relations?
Of course I did.
Okay, good,
Yes,
good.
Yeah.
He kind of hinted at it. I had to hear it from the horse's mouth, as they say. So
Of course, I'm also mentoring TJ. It's working out quite well for me. I'm not talking behind his back. He mentioned this publicly in the newsletter, so it's out there. He's now ventured and delved into the realm of dating apps. So I'm basically mentoring him on a proper and appropriate. I mean, obviously it doesn't work all the time, but for the most part, about 80-85% of the time, these techniques work. Text messaging and how you initially respond to a woman's profile and things you can say. So, and he got a date for last Saturday. So,
good man.
It's an endorsement for me, and it's good for him. So there you go.
He has to leave a review then, right?
I know, right? he kind of did. He did in the newsletter. So
good.
Yeah, and if you join Masculine Geek Life, you can, of course, but if anyone listening to this joins Masculine Geek Life, you'll benefit from the little bit of wisdom that I've gained in that regard. So I have quite a bit of mileage in that arena. Oh yeah. So in a variety of ways.
Good man.
Absolutely. So yeah, we had a really good we had a good time on that Saturday between the hiking and the drinking and the food and the fucking camaraderie and talk. Yeah, it was a good time. And James missed out.
James, what's up with that?
No, I have a Kickstarter to.
So. Calls. Listen, man, none of us have the excess income just yet.
Income, you didn't have to pay for anything.
No, it's that I'm not making money while I'm at home. I need to make sure I continue doing that so I can come out.
Oh, okay. Well, you missed this one, and
we'll make up the whole thing. We'll make up for it. I enjoy hearing tales about it because it makes me all the more excited to hit up the next one.
Gotcha. All right. Well, just keep your boner in check. So.
He likes edging.
Apparently. You bring it up to the brink and then slowly bring it down, then bring it up and then back down. There you go.
Yeah, just out of the camera's frame. And
who's that in the corner? That would be James. There you go. That's right. All you hear is the voice. Oh, that's too funny. Yeah, it was a good trip. We'll have many more of those. We tried to have a meetup this past Sunday just locally, but that fell apart.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry to hear.
Yeah, it's okay. We keep.
No, don't worry. I already apologized for it because I was like,
this motherfucker,
like one or something,
bitch. One.
Old Vincent 3.
Yeah, he's like, I I think I missed it. Yeah, you fucking missed it. I was like, I didn't even bother showing up either. So fuck you guys.
So you guys no-showed each other.
Pretty much, yeah. But I knew I had planned on it, but I had texted James the night before and hadn't heard anything. So I'm like, fuck that guy. He's not even going to show up. And I was correct.
He texted me at 11, and I'm like, oh well, I can't text him now at like 3 a.m. I can't get back.
Come on. That's just excuses. Stop.
Yes.
You can
I keep doing it.
Yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. You can keep doing it, but I'm wise to your
It's for my benefit, not yours. I don't.
Well, I know it's here's how that works. Wow, I wonder why Vince hasn't made any plans to do this anymore. Wow, you keep fucking flaking on me like
completely.
You complete flake like Raul Tomasi.
I have flaked on you. Hey! We're not going to do the girlfriend stamp collection. I've now accidentally flaked on you once out of our many meetings. It's fine.
I don't know. I think it was more than once. I'm totally gonna.
I met you at the Kegging Kitchen. I met you at Seb's Brewery. I met you at the pub. Many times.
Like a married couple.
I know, right? Yeah. Yeah. James wears the skirt, of course.
It's the baby face, man. You gotta.
I know, right? It is. It really is. You have to go with that. I can't wear a skirt with a beard. It's just not going to work.
It
doesn't work. No, it's not gonna work.
It is the anti-skirts, you know.
Exactly. So James took one for the team. That's fine.
Yeah,
good on him, man.
So exactly. So
he paid me well.
I did, yeah. See, here's the thing. James is like, I got next time. Pick a lily. I got the wings. Mm-hmm. Then when we schedule that, where's James? Because James is going to pay.
Yeah. So, hey, you fucker! I paid for the cake.
I know, I'm messing with you, fucking dick.
It was worth it. Yes, but now I get to advertise the Kegging Kitchen and the wonderful what do they call it? Moose burger? What was it made out of?
It was a bison burger.
Bison burger.
Bison burgers are very good at the Kegging Kitchen. I was hoping when we were there that they got them back in season. They do a lamb shepherd's pie.
You were right to me. I was so upset that
I know. I got you all psyched up over that, and they fucked us over.
Lamb is delicious. Here's what we'll ask you, since you're in Wales.
They're more sheep hair than people.
It doesn't show up in the American diet that often.
Mutton, where's the mutton?
Yeah,
where is it? Do you guys now? You could, that has to be in your.
Oh yeah. In Wales, it's a delicacy. So as I say, there literally is more sheep in Wales than people. And the English make fun of the Wales as being sheep shaggers. So there's a deep rooted culture of sheep.
Proving them right.
Deep culture.
Well, you know why the sheep herder fucks the sheep at the edge of a cliff. So the sheep will push back.
I think I probably heard that joke.
That's an old George Carlin joke, I think.
Yeah. But it's a fabulous meat. In fact, I'm on the carnivore diet out here in the UK, so that means I'm eating only meat. It's a dirty carnivore because I do cheat with a pizza once a week. Just
you have to.
It's like I'm too old now to torture myself entirely. But steak, eggs, burgers, lamb chops, pork, bacon, all the good stuff. And the meat out here is phenomenal.
Oh shit.
It is cheap, it is good, it is just like high quality stuff. I was killing myself in London in these other places, and I was spending a fortune on, because meat is very expensive out here. If I had known I could get the meat out here at the price that I would have been here years ago. So
cool.
Like this one place that I go to, and I guess I can mention it. No, I don't know anybody in Aberdeen, but it's the first cafe I went to out here is called Pakataka. And I walked up to the guy and I said, "Look, give me a 4-stack burgers, like quarter pounders. Give me like a full pound of burgers." And he looks at it and he's like, "Okay, that sounds all right. Do you want cheese?" I said, "Yeah, sure. Give me some cheese, man." He said, "What about a sausage?" So he takes a sausage and adds that. I said, "Yeah, I'll take a sausage."
Oh, shit.
How about an egg on top? I said, "Yeah, no problem, man." Adds that on top of that. And he sells it to me for £7, which is the equivalent of like $10 US.
What?
And then on top of that, he put like 4 massive rashers of back bacon.
that's really. I mean, that could be your meal for the entire day.
It could be. I mean, I'm accustomed eating nothing but meat, so that's just one meal. But yeah,
Yeah. Holy
two
shit.
other people who are not on my diet tried it, and they said it nearly killed them.
Holy
But
crap! I love it. That's great. I'm coming
It
to
is-
Wales.
do it, bro.
Right?
Yeah.
Do it. It's
We're doing
absolutely
a masculine geek. We're doing a masculine geek Wales sheep trip.
Maybe we don't advertise it as such, but
Well, it's all right. Rob, edit
It's
that.
work in progress.
Rob, edit that in post.
The sheep trip.
The
What?
sheep trip.
What are we doing with sheep?
Lambs to the slaughter.
Village by the sheep.
By the sheep.
Village by the sheep.
awful.
Village by the pasture.
There you go. Village by the pasture. Talk about ministering. Oh man. Shit.
It is beautiful out here. I have to say, if you
Okay.
like countryside and you like, just the green hills, and it looks like something out of a movie. Very honestly, just driving
You
through is
basically
beautiful.
live in the Shire, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's kind. Well, not where I'm at. Where I'm at is kind of shit. But
And
when you get out of
almost the
here,
opposite, though.
when you get out of here on the road and out of the town, it is beautiful. I have to say.
Okay.
Brooke could almost make pass for a hobbit too.
Were you sure?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm about 5'7", I think. Yeah, give or take.
I'm just
on a good day.
You're still taller than Aaron Clary.
Really? How tall is he?
No, he's 5'9".
Oh, there
But
you go.
the joke is he comes across as shorter than that.
That's short. Yeah, he's got like the
Yeah.
short man complex.
He kinda,
But Rob,
Rob is legitimately, like, technically shorter. He's 5'4", I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
but he doesn't have the short man sort of attitude. He
No, he has a great personality and character. So he's larger than life. He's bigger than his presence is bigger than his
That's the
actual
point. Is
height.
you project as something bigger.
Exactly, and
I
you're supposed
identify
to.
as 6'2".
Exactly.
Yeah, identifies.
What do you
it.
hit them with?
I gotta try that.
Exactly.
I did it the other night. Fuck, I'm gonna write that in this week's newsletter. I'm gonna write that in because I told this one girl I was talking to. She's like, "You're the same height as me." I'm like, "Yeah." I don't think about it. I identify as 6'2", and we went from there. Yeah, she's like, "Yeah,
Nice.
you know what? That's fine. That was fine for her."
how tall are you, James?
Exactly. You
I am
didn't, that's
only
because
5'7", and I'm happy to
Yeah,
say
'cause
only.
you didn't make a big deal about it, so it's not a big deal with her.
Exactly.
Yep,
I mean,
and that's the thing.
even some of the pandemic pickup that I've done out here, one of the girls was 6'2", and I matched with her on one of these apps and stuff like that. And I mean, I'm not hiding my height or anything like that. And I basically said, look, we're all the same height lying down. It really doesn't matter at this point. So
Exactly. You're the same
all-
height in
all
the bedroom.
good.
The girl that I'm with is 5'11".
Nice.
There you go.
Amazon.
There
How
you
tall
go.
are you?
Amazon.
Well, you're 5'10", right, Amos?
5'9".
5'9". Okay.
That's a good height.
Okay.
Man. That's a good height.
It's a good.
I'm
decent height.
5'7" after I get hitting a nipple.
Yeah. You're like 4'11" after you get hit in the nipple. The best part was just you looked at the offending boulder that you wound up falling upon, and your response was, "Ow." It was very dry and subtle. It was perfect.
I understand on the trip there was a cigar incident of some kind.
That was Salt Lake City.
that was Salt Lake City. Oh, okay. No cigars on this
Monica
trip. Then?
Lewinsky.
Oh, there were. I had. That's right. You weren't supposed to, come on, James. But no, yeah, there was. That was Salt Lake. There was an incident, and then I had a few cigars in Gettysburg.
But that wasn't the only. That wasn't just the only incident I was a victim of. There were many other incidents in Salt Lake City.
This is true. You were subjected to quite a few incidences. And those people will remain nameless because they're not
Yes.
here to defend themselves.
Yeah,
Once we have
yeah.
them on, then that's a
Then we
different
will.
story. Then we
Yeah.
will lambast them and roast them because they're live. So too funny.
You guys
All
have
right,
a good time, man. That's awesome.
We did. No, the Salt Lake meetup was good. The Gettysburg meetup was good. They all are. They're all good stuff. And we do I do want to. I'm not joking. I do want to come out to Wales and visit. That'd be great. I think it'd be great.
It would be
fun.
cool. Let me
Little
know, and
Masculine
I'll help you coordinate if you're looking for a place, venue, and stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, I got some good contacts out here. I think it'll be cool.
Oh, I'm sure. Fantastic. That'd be a great time.
Yeah,
Sweet.
yeah.
And then
Sure.
obviously you're both of you guys are invited to the Masculine Geek Italy trip in September or October. I'm not sure which.
Right.
Hopefully by then things will be a little more less hectic, as it were.
It'll be another
Good way
trip
to
I
put
could
it.
take for my birthday.
There you
See,
go.
there you go. Exactly. It works out nicely.
If you come out, Amos, man, yeah, we'll tear up the town, man. Wait, where you're looking to go? You're doing Rome?
We're doing Rome, yeah.
You're doing Rome. Okay, yeah, I got a friend out there, so maybe I could talk to them and see what's going on.
Cool.
If it's Amos's birthday, we gotta take it over the top.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hookers and blow, man.
Well, that was going to happen regardless, so that'll just be.
I know he didn't confess that about the last trip. I was like, how was the hookers and blow?
Rob, edit that in post.
Yeah, we meant the Coca-Cola
Coca-Cola with the pure cane sugar from Mexico or Zimbabwe.
less
or
white
whatever.
From
cane,
Mexico, known for its pure cane.
Exactly.
Highest quality powder.
Exactly.
That's funny, man.
Absolutely. All right, we're coming up on the hour and a half mark, and we want to keep it around there. This has been good. It flew by. It's hard to believe it's already been an hour and 25 minutes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Is there anything you want to plug or talk about in regard to anything you're doing personally? Anything you're doing with the 10K Rum podcast? Where do you see the podcast going over the next couple of years? What's the deal?
Amos?
Oh, that didn't sound good.
Well, I mean, technically it is his podcast, even though we do co-host on this. So I'll let him take first crack.
I mean, at the moment we're kind of like coming up on 4 years. We're definitely like hinting at the fact like we're definitely trying to push for getting more people on board. Like with all the people we have had on, like we've had haven't had Rolo on the show itself, but he's been on the channel because we host the Religion Zero podcast. We do that. So I had him there a couple times on my channel and on Brooke's channel. Brooke has a lot of subscribers that he'll point at, like coming to watch us, and of course Robert Frank, and just a lot of other people we've had on over the years. And
Spike Cohen.
Spike Cohen, yeah, 2 times. He was the vice presidential candidate for the Libertarian Party. 2 times. Had him on there, and it's just we're trying to figure out like, okay, does YouTube just not like us, or what's going on? Because we'll get stuff with a lot of views, but just it doesn't quite take off with subscribers.
Yeah.
So we definitely are like pushing over the next few months to see like where that would really take us. Getting more content out. We're trying out different things. I know we've seen some, even some other people that we know of that are trying different things too to get more views. Like Rollo Tomasi was doing 1-minute clips.
Oh, the shorts. Yeah.
YouTube shorts. Yeah. I'm doing it as well.
Yeah, and that is apparently supposed to be able to like generate a lot of views as well. So it's kind of. It's pretty much up in the air. I mean, we kind of have some dates in mind to kind of like set for like, okay, what do we want to see by these time periods? And it's not like the show is just going to like, all right, if we're not doing this, we're done. We're just done. No, we'll still be doing it. Just probably wouldn't be doing it as much.
Gotcha.
That would be kind of the direction. So it all kind of just depends really where things go, unless something really takes off, maybe we just have some guests on and then we get 1,000 subscribers overnight or something.
Yeah.
There's always those moments. Some people hit it early, some people hit it late, but still kind of just see what happens pretty much.
Gotcha.
Testing the waters.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're hopeful and we're trying to be optimistic about it. But I mean, doing it for 4 years, the channel still isn't monetized. It really hasn't even cracked any kind of big numbers and stuff like that. So that is disheartening. There is a technique to advertising podcasts. We've tried a couple promotions. We've tried different things. But to be very honest, the content we're doing is controversial. So the algorithms are working against us. We've got all of this controversy.
And even like having our podcast mentioned, like I think, and this is a huge shout out to Robert Frank. He mentioned our podcast like 12 times
on
his
show.
podcast. Just Because, and I would literally just send him super chats, and it would just, he'd go, oh yeah, I know these guys on this podcast next week. Oh yeah, shout out to those guys on this podcast, like over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And it just didn't quite.
It never tried. And his podcast is in the top 100 in the United States, right? The Glorious House of Gains podcast.
Yeah.
Oh,
So we have massive exposure. With
Tens of
him.
thousands of downloads every month.
Yeah,
And-
we've had massive, even with his one of the co-host guests that he's had. What was his name? Bear So Strong.
Yeah.
We took one of his other guests, pulled it straight off the podcast. We did the show, all the promotion, and we're still squeaking by, man.
Yeah.
So we're being optimistic. We love doing the show, and of course, as you see, he and I have great chemistry. We love hanging out and just talking.
Oh, yeah.
Talking the shit and stuff like that. But we did discuss that, it does cost us money. We have the hosting, we've obviously put out money for the promotion, the artwork and other things like that, the equipment. As I'm sure you guys, the road, my stuff is the Roadcaster. This is like, very expensive stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't been much of a return. And we're kind of saying, okay, if by a certain point, we may just stick to YouTube, where we may not host, the platforms and other things like that. Get rid of, start cutting the costs until we can really focus on the page. And like I said, it's not that it would go away.
Yeah.
Would just
And
be
maybe
more direct.
even like you would do more stuff on your channel, and then maybe I would do something else too, like as well as maintaining that, like, because we've had like, I know Brooke has there's an appeal to Brooke's channel that has drawn a lot of people to watch his stuff.
Mm.
And I haven't really, I did something just before we started the podcast, but didn't really go anywhere. I kind of focused on the podcast, and now it's like, okay, there's different ideas to see, like, if I would do something kind of just either maybe I bring on guests on my own to do my own little thing, or I start just doing stuff that I want to talk about. Or there was even a thought at one point, like, what if I did like gaming streams or something, just something else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
gaming is solid. You can get because I think you ordered a new PC, or you're planning on a PC. And
Planning on a PC at some point, yeah. Hopefully
yeah.
this spring. So
And the appeal, like for my channel, it's a mix of everything. So it's my story of coming to London. It's, the 5 foods I miss from Trinidad and Tobago. It's, this is how you approach a girl, positive body language. It's an assortment of things. And by that design, I could hide the more controversial videos. So my channel isn't solely like the politics and these other things. So yeah, with that kind of mix, I've managed to get over 2,000 subscribers, and it's growing.
and what's your most viewed video?
My most viewed video is the 5 foods I miss from Trinidad and Tobago.
What was it, like 60,000 views or
I think
something?
it's crossed probably about 100,000 at this point.
Yeah.
That remains my top video.
Damn. Cool.
But I mean, I put a lot of things off, right? Because I support the podcast. There are a lot of things I could do on the channel. So like, for instance, we talked about the Wonder Woman. When Wonder Woman came out, I watched it. I don't know, Amos, I don't know if you've gotten to it yet, but we wanted, yeah, I didn't think so. We wanted to do like a review, right? We want to do a review on the show, the new episode. We would have spent time talking about that. If it weren't for the podcast, I would have put that out on my channel already, but I'm saving it for the podcast. So I'm not really utilizing the channel the best way at the same time. So we'll have to figure things out going forward. We both believe in the show. We love doing it. But if it's not reaching people and people aren't really, connecting with it and stuff like that, as much as it's a labor of love, I'd rather just talk on the phone with Amos for like an hour and a half every week and just, go back to just
That's
chilling
actually
out.
where but that's where it started actually. Was
Yeah.
he and I would actually talk hour and a half, 2 hours. And at one point we would talk like 3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah.
And we were like, these conversations are really good. Let's put it in a podcast. That's
Yeah.
what turned to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But now it's kind of like, okay.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah,
It's,
it's work. It is
Yeah.
work.
and even
but
with the work, it's there's no guarantee that the endeavor that you're engaged in is going to take off and catch fire.
exactly.
It's
Yeah, I was gonna say that for me, it's posterity. Like if ever I have kids or anything like that, I could always point back to this and say, here's 4 years of me talking, you know, and sharing my stupid jokes and corny wisdom.
You don't even
else.
have to. You don't have to parent your kid. You just show them the YouTube, plunk them
Yeah,
down
I'll
in
just
front
be
of
like,
YouTube. There you go.
Sit here and watch this for the next 3 days.
You're-
Right? Teach you
you're
everything you
good.
need to know about life.
Yeah, you're fine.
And then
Yeah.
randomly there'll be new people that'll be like, so when are you guys doing a reunion? Like 10, 15 years, 20 years down the line.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. And I also enjoy. We also do the Religion Zero, which is a friend of ours project that moves from channel to channel. Yeah, we enjoy doing that. I mean, we do have a ministry background. We're not really practicing anymore. We're not really involved in that arena very much, but we have a good history. We've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. So we do enjoy talking that stuff. And we've gotten some followers come across and some great guests. Like as he said, Rolo Tomasi came on. I think we had Ryan Stone, a couple of the, you know, the kind of red pill community guys. So that it was an honor to meet those guys. You know, it was really a great experience.
Had Jack Napier on that one time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that. That's, good old Jack.
Yeah, he's a good guy, man.
Absolutely, yeah, he is. That's funny. Okay, cool. Well, I definitely want to have you guys back and promote your show and get the word out.
Appreciate it, Vincent. Thank you so much.
Of course, yeah. Well, once this, of course, because this, like I said, this is the guinea pig. You guys are guinea pigs, and we'll start promoting this as soon as it drops. You guys can tweet it out. We'll tweet it out, throw it up in Masculine Geek Life and other areas. So yeah,
thank you.
It'd be good.
We appreciate
Of course.
Yeah,
We're
all in
welcome.
this together.
Well, this part, yes, we are in this together. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. All right. So, where can we find you all, both as a team and individually?
You can go on YouTube and type in 10K Rum Podcast. You can go to pretty much any of your major podcasting platforms, type in the same thing. You'll find all of our episodes. And of course, you know, I think both of us are on Twitter, Instagram, and then of course we have our Facebook page. So that's all. I mean, that's all on our page as well. But like, I'm on Twitter at Amos Joe, Brooks at Brooke_Potter.
Yeah, Brooke_Potter.
Okay.
And then I think it's pretty close to the same thing. Are you Brooke_Potter on Instagram?
Either underscore or dot. I can't remember which one. It's one of those.
But
yeah,
we usually have all our
look for
links, on the show. So
Okay.
yeah, every Tuesday, 11 o'clock, 11 a.m. Central Time. So that's 5 p.m. GMT.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
Just for myself, you could just look for me, Brooke Potter, on Facebook. I got a fan page there. I got 2 YouTube channels, one from my ministry days. That's all the Christian stuff. Again, I'm not really active there, but you know, some people are interested in that. And then there's one with my personal one where I talk about my trip, my life, dating, politics, social stuff, as well as hosting a couple episodes of our streams and stuff. So yeah, Brooke Potter on pretty much everything. And anybody find me on Gab? I am trying to build up my Gab following at this point, you know.
There you go.
Fight the censorship, you know.
Build that up a little bit. Absolutely. Cool.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
All right. Excellent. James, do you want to take us out? Thank you for joining us here for Masculine Geek number 109.
Absolutely.
James.
Thank you. What?
Who?
Take it away.
What?
Take it away.
I am taking it away. No. Thank you for joining us on Masculine Geek number 109. I'm going to repeat what Vince just said. Keep the fires burning. Keep the lead flying downrange.
That's what I say. Yep.
And
what else do we say?
Don't be
keep what?
pudwax, I believe is the last one.
Well, yeah, never be a pudwhack, and never don't take any wood nickels.
No wooden nickels.
No wood nickels.
But especially don't be a pudwack.
Do not be a pudwhack.
No
No pudwhackery.
Yeah, see?